Hey.
What's up, squad?
What it
You
do?
know?
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Season finale. Season finale.
Yeah,
What's going on, everybody? Everybody good. Everybody good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew everybody's kind of sad because this is our season finale. What's up, everybody? This is
No
Ship.
sadness.
Finale.
No sadness.
Yeah.
Joy.
We made it.
Joy.
Well,
Joy.
I'm a little bit sad. I'm a little bit sad. And a little
look,
bit joyful.
Oh,
We've
my.
done
We
three
had a phenomenal
seasons, right?
season. Phenomenal
We've done
season.
Yes.
3 seasons.
3 seasons
And we're about
down.
to do a
Yes,
fourth
yes.
one or something. So,
Three.
no
3.
sadness.
3.
Under trust.
3. 3.
Tweet. Hey, Cole.
3
All right,
seasons
everybody.
in the West Side.
You know. All right, gang activity over. Okay. Anyway, what's up, everybody? This is Ships, the relationship show where we chronicle the difficult and hidden world of true to life relationships. This is our season finale, but we have an amazing show, and it's dedicated to all of the people out there who don't know when it's time to leave a relationship. So, hey, Gary. So we're going to break this list down, guys. But before we get into today's show, guys, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel over on YouTube. For those of you who are following me on my personal pages or Rick's or Pastor's or Janine's, please go over to YouTube, Better Flights Entertainment, and like and subscribe over there. Plus, let us know how to help you by emailing me at ZandraSSandSamWilson@yahoo.com. We have a form that you can fill out, a query form that's in the information section on our YouTube page. And what you can do is just let us know what you want. If you want to come on the show, if you want to be a witness protection with a message in the bottle, if you want to just come on and just talk, we'd love to have you however you want us to have you. Again, send in those messages in the bottles. We're going to have some great prizes. We're just waiting. Some great prizes and some things for you guys coming up, especially for season 4. So anyway, guys, so I want to go through how everyone's week has been. Let's go out of order here a little bit. We're going to start with you, Dr. Collins.
Hey, how do we do?
How was your week?
My week has been absolutely phenomenal.
Doing nothing, huh?
I'm doing out here saving the world one life at a time. And in most cases, I'm saving people from their crazy sale.
Pretty much.
I wonder who he's talking about. Okay, Pastor Rick.
Hello. Nice to be back. I had a battle, but look at God.
Look at God. You back.
No, I'm feeling great.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful week. Celebrated 27 years.
Woo!
Stop playing with me.
Congratulations.
I'm telling you, Cole needs she needs an
Stop
award.
it.
Just
Stop it.
Wait a minute. She does need one, but I may need one too. I'm gonna leave it there. No,
she needs one, but he's all she's getting. So
pretty much. Yes, sir. Listen, I deal with what I got. Yes, sir. That's it.
Best thing
that happened. So we had a wonderful time. We spent the week, really, the days of our anniversary, we went out and ate, and I paid for it. Yeah. So, yes, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, ma'am. But praise God that we're here.
Okay.
So, yes, ma'am.
Praise God. Well, congratulations. That it really is huge. In today's climate, that's huge. All right, Neen, how was your week, girl?
Let's see. I'm starting a new job.
Oh,
this
woo-hoo!
week. So
come on now.
I'm excited about that. I just saw a little rough cut from the film that was shot in February.
Okay.
And it looks good. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
And our godson, has his baby dedication coming up this Sunday. And I'm so excited.
Okay. That's so exciting. So exciting. Okay. Okay. So you guys ready? So today's guys again. Comment.
Please do.
When do you know when the relationship is toast? When to stay away?
What is that? When to sail away?
What did you type in?
I didn't do that. That was sent to me.
The little when to stay away.
When
to stay away.
No, that's even better though.
That's all right. All right. What's number one? When do we know when the relationship is toast? Because some of us don't know when to walk away. And I think we've all walked away either too soon, didn't give it a chance, or some of us just stayed too long. Okay, you fighting constantly. Let's define that. So we know you should fight, or you can't fight, not fist fight, but there's such thing as healthy arguing, right?
I don't know. I heard you say you should fight. Like,
I mean,
like it's a goal.
You know what I meant.
Well, you know
what? Right?
Let's have a disclaimer.
Okay.
We're not saying that if you are fighting constantly, that means walk away.
Right.
These are, I think it's a combination of the things we're going to point out today, because fighting constantly could mean that there's some bigger issues that you're afraid to deal with or not willing to deal with. And so you're nitpicking at other things when you just need to have that come to Jesus moment, sit down and say, okay, we're tripping because of this.
And then also define what is constantly. I guess it's relative, because some people think, you're fighting every day, once a week. What's constantly? So a lot of this stuff is kind of like, disclaimer. So, okay, Dr. Collins, weigh in.
You fight constantly. Yeah, they didn't really give us enough information. What I would say when you say fighting constantly, well, for one, I ain't finna be fighting constantly. For one, that's one thing I ain't about to do. I'm not. So I don't think I never walked away from a relationship too early. I think it's I stayed too long, but I ain't never walked away too early. Just put it out there. Listen, fighting, explain it. Fighting can be perceived a lot of different ways. And I would say when you're fighting unfairly, because fighting can be just debating or trying to find our place of compromise, or, all depending on what context someone's using that word. But I tell people, you got to know how to fight fair. I call it the art of war in relationships.
Absolutely.
You got to know how to fight fair. You can't be hidden below the belt and name calling and this and the other. But let me put this out there. Statistics have proven that a couple that's fighting and arguing are in better shape than a couple that doesn't even talk anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even in the fighting, not that fighting is healthy, but it creates some possibility of resolve because we're still communicating versus the couple that then call it quits on communicating. Now you remove the potential of resolving anything.
Right.
So no, it's not healthy, quote unquote, to fight, but at least they're still communicating. But I would say when the fighting comes without ever coming to resolution, when there's never an answer, when there's never a conclusion, when there's never a healthy compromise, when we never can end up in agreement, then there's something where maybe there's a problem with our communication, or we're just too far apart in who we are as people.
Okay, anybody else want to weigh in?
That's good stuff.
Okay, let's go to number 2.
Number 2.
That's what you said. You just said you're too apathetic to fight. It's over. It's a wrap. I agree.
Yeah.
That means you just don't care. One or both of you is not seeking help.
Therapy.
Believe you need help. That's
Therapy.
because they don't believe they need help. They
Right.
believe if you would change, we would work.
Right.
Right.
Is that what you find out? Is that what goes on in your counseling sessions?
No, the people that don't come to the counseling sessions feel that way. It's like, why am I going for you? You the one that need to change. You go. That's how they.
Yeah, and even if they do come, it's always you're like you're a referee. You're not even a mediator. You're a referee because the other person doesn't realize that they're messed up more than the person they're accusing of being messed up. And so you're looking at them like, you know, you messed up. Like, not me. Nah, it's him. Like, okay, and then vice versa. You know, she needs to do A, B, and C. And so that dynamic can be very, very stressful on a couple because one doesn't want to budge. They don't want to see, one doesn't want to see the other person's point. Because, and truthfully, many times you will notice that the marriage has started off like that. The person has always been like that, and they don't want to change. So as soon as the other person got fed up with all of that foolishness that they put up in the beginning, because it was cute at first, it was nice, and all of a sudden it flipped on it, and now they're frustrated. The other person says, "What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me. It's you," because the person tolerated it for years.
Yeah.
And now you're playing a referee between two crazy folk. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: when it's like that, guys, when it's stuff, have you guys seen a resolution with stuff like that, or is that literally death sentence? Okay, so it can be resolved, even if the person was like that going into the marriage.
Even if the person's like that going into the marriage, I think, in my approach, is very direct.
Okay.
Very direct. And I don't know what Hosea does in this session, but pretty much if you don't do plan A when you leave, don't come here asking for plan B when you come back.
Amen.
It doesn't make sense.
Amen.
Listen, depending on if you're a member, you're a part of the ministry or not. Well, depending if you're a part of the ministry, I'll charge you. So it's a win-win for me. You want to come back and get plan A again? No problem. Come back for plan A again, because that's what I'm going to tell you. And that session was supposed to be an hour, 15 minutes, because you didn't do plan A. And that's how it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it don't take me long to tell you what I told you.
Yeah,
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, so here's a question. Does therapy still get a bad rap?
It gets one, but it shouldn't.
In the black.
Right. I agree it shouldn't, but do some couples have the mindset that going to therapy means that we're failures?
Yep.
We should be able to take care of our own issues, problems, and so
that's mostly old-fashioned.
Still hesitant.
It is
old-fashioned couples.
Yep.
Okay, so the newer couples
had bad experiences with a bad therapist, with a bad counselor, and they began.
What's a bad counselor? So how will a person know a bad counselor as opposed to a good counselor?
You coming back 10 times and you still have the same issue. They're taking your money. Yeah.
Well, we were good. We were good until you went to counseling.
Right. Right.
Well, there's that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I'll say this.
Gary and I.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We went to see somebody. I'm sorry. Mine is delayed. I didn't hear you talk.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
Gary and I went to see somebody early on, and I had a horrible experience with this woman. And when we left, Gary, he realized that not only I had a horrible experience, but that the lady said some whack stuff, because she basically treated me like the angry Black woman.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
And my thought was, if you want to see her,
come meet me outside.
Put her on the mic.
I'm gonna give you your money's worth.
Put her on the mic.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Some therapists are very biased toward one of the individuals, And the moment one individual feels attacked by their spouse and the counselor, they're not coming. They're not coming back. Like I'm very intentional. I'm very intentional because I know the temperament of people. I'm very intentional of giving both sides an area to work on. Yeah. Because you got to level the playing field. Or nobody's going to return to the field.
You got to level the playing field.
Right. What if it's the other person's complete fault?
There is always something, an issue with both parties. Always. This is another way you know you need to leave. When you with somebody who's perfect, no wrong, you need to go. Yeah. If they're not changing. There's no hope.
Goodbye.
I can deal with somebody who know they got some issues. The person that swear they don't, I can't. Yeah. I can't date you want to be Jesus. I can't.
Are you saying you met those people in therapy sessions that think that nothing they've done is wrong? Everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know how many people feel that way?
They feel they got it together.
I'm saying nothing, Pastor. I know everybody.
I seek for two things when I'm sitting with somebody. This is what I'm trying to determine. Is there a head problem?
Or a heart
problem? Is there a heart problem?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. If there's a head problem, meaning heart is right, they just don't know, they're ignorant, they're not aware of the tools, they lack knowledge and understanding. I can teach you what you don't know.
Right.
I can handle that.
Right.
I can't make you a different person in your heart. I ain't God.
Yeah.
When it's a hard problem, it's beyond my pay scale. Now, because that's like it ain't a counseling session no more. It's a salvation session.
It is.
You need to get saved. Like we through. I'm through with counseling. If y'all don't never make it, let me introduce you to a man.
I'll see you Sunday at the altar. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So the people with the heart problems, they're saved, correct? They just it just need to grow or something.
It depends. that I don't know. I got a lot of skepticism there.
Yeah, we
still out. All right, let's go to 4.
Well, hold on. Someone had to say one of our comments here.
Okay, one-sided counselors, the ones who talk about everything but your issue, and I'm counseling you instead.
That's funny.
That's good. Look, you put them on the couch and you're sitting in the chair.
The majority.
Asking them about their childhood.
Yeah,
no, a lot of it, you have to point out certain things before they really see. They like a lot of people are really ignorant of their issues because again, people don't see the world as it is. They see the world as they are. So they don't think how you could how dare you be upset with what I'm doing?
Sure.
When I'm only doing what I think is right for you. I'm trying to help you. See, that's the mentality. So they're not conscious of the fact what they call it help is hurt.
Right. Right. And that's
you gonna say, Sandra?
No, I was gonna say is that Cole just made a really good point. She said the majority of people, I guess maybe I am ignorant to a lot of stuff. I just figure most people know that there's some stuff that's wrong. Nobody is perfect. We know we have issues and we could do better in certain areas.
They don't believe that they're the problem with the relationship.
Right.
Not that they're perfect in life.
Right.
Okay.
But the problems they have in the relationship are not on them.
No.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the other person because they're not willing to, look at the hurt that they're causing because they're hurt. Mm-hmm. And so that would have them to really confront a lot of back issues that should have been confronted prior to them even getting into a relationship.
Right.
So they're bringing all that baggage, all that trauma, all the foolishness into the relationship. He or she will cause pretty much havoc because they haven't healed. And so by the time they get to us, we're with a psychologist, counselor, pastor, nurse, and hopefully never an attorney. But the fact of the matter is that this is the mindset a lot of people come in with. Mm-hmm. It's always the other person. And I wanted to note here, amongst Black people, amongst Blacks, therapy now is being pushed more and more, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I think personally, the spiritual counsel and the head counseling go hand in hand. Because when you look at the Word of God, it gets psychic.
Yeah.
It deals in the psyche. In fact, many times before spiritual, it deals in the psyche first.
Right.
So I think what happens is the great psychologists or pastors who have a psychology degree, it really helps the counseling session. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, Zandra.
That's good.
Zandra,
Yes,
to
sir.
your point, why do you think most of these people wanted to come to counseling?
Yeah.
You thought they wanted to come to get help.
Yeah.
No, they wanted to come for you to help their partner understand how they were right and they were wrong.
Yeah.
That's why they came. They came because you know what? I'm so convinced that I'm right. We're finna go to a counselor that's finna tell your butt so I can show you it's been you. That's what the mindset is. Most of the people that come to me for counseling don't leave with what they thought they was coming to get.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if it's their first time, they mind get blown. Because I don't even let them talk too much the first time they sit down with me. I start reading their mail just off of my questioning, which I'm not even talking about what you think your problem is now when I'm first meeting you for the first time.
Right.
I'm digging into who you are. And when I dig into who they are, there's mind blown when I start pointing out the issues they're probably having that they haven't even told me yet because I've just assessed who you are.
And by the way, and this is a note to all the folks who do go to counseling, particularly with pastors, make sure that they have the Holy Ghost. Listen. No, I'm not playing.
Who gonna come to pastor? He not saved.
You listen. The pastor needs the Holy Ghost.
I'm saying that they know that they're not saved.
Yeah.
Why would you go to a pastor that you know?
No, you get into another subject.
Okay. I said no. I said that no.
I know you get into another subject.
Okay.
No, that's another show.
That's another show. Thank you, Janine.
You always feel like you need a break. Yeah, I'm tired. Can we break off for 3 months, come back together a week? Can we take another 3 months off?
Your relationship should not feel like a full-time job.
A new relationship should be the break.
Yeah, it should be.
The new relationship should feel like the break from life.
Yeah.
You need a break.
Look,
one of two things.
I wish you would.
Too darn fast.
Listen to me. I wish you would. I wish you. What? Oh, you need a break.
Can we do a break, a trial separation?
Yeah. See, let me tell you something. One thing. Let me tell you what that is. There's two things. Number one, that's woman stuff.
What is it?
You are.
Or when you hear that from a man, it's really a kind way of dumping you. That's what it is. It's one of two.
Say that. Yeah.
Why you say it's woman stuff?
Because only women ask for a break. When a man say I want a break, it's his kind way of getting away.
Right.
So
if a woman asks, you're saying there's no. So
goodbye.
This is why a man gets mad when a woman asks for a break. He gets mad because he knows to him that means we done.
Okay.
If Zandra says she wants a break, Zandra's done.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
She fit with the man.
Zandra's done. Okay.
One and done. That's it.
Everybody
Bye.
else, that's the kinder, gentler version.
Just disappear from the face of the earth. Okay, I hear you. I didn't know that, Pastor. I'm glad you brought that out. So from when I have heard a lot of women say, let's take a break for a while and then try to, if you miss me within those 3 months and we come back together.
That's the woman part right there. That's it. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Men don't think like that. Men ain't giving you time to miss them. Like not on purpose, not with now man give you time to miss him because he get mad and he walk out of the house and he ain't gonna call you for 2 days. That's his break, but it ain't announced. It's just done.
Hosea, what I'm getting at here is 3 months, you're gone, no sex. Man, you better go on with your life, man. What you talking about?
Yeah, he
gotta be saved. If you're saved and know the Lord, he
go. You're right. That's when it's time for you to leave. Bye. Yes.
All right. So,
And
ladies, you hear that? So that's a woman thing. So I know a lot of women that's like that. They do the
And
break.
if you ask him for a break, he gonna want to break you off something for the break.
Sure is.
Because he
Yes.
feel like I ain't gonna see you no more.
Because he knows that's the last time.
Lord. Okay, what's
Let's
number 5?
moving on. Don't ask for a break, ladies. Just don't ask for a break.
You might. It'll break you
Well,
off.
that's a big thing. Women do ask for a break. Okay, you daydream about being single.
Daydream about being single.
That's not good.
Okay. What else is there to say about this one? That's
I don't know.
big
I don't know.
sign.
I don't know. It's like you on a job that you're working on till your business take off. That's what you're doing.
No, exactly it. Until.
That's funny.
Yeah, that relationship is until.
Yeah.
But people now, come on, y'all know people do that all the time.
They do.
Look,
and we know that they need to go about their business.
Daydreaming about somebody else.
I know.
You could
right?
be daydreaming about not
No,
being
but
single
that's the same
with somebody
thing.
else.
That's the same thing, Janine.
Yeah.
That's the reason you dreaming about being single.
Like,
so you can be with somebody else.
Put it all under the daydream category.
Yeah.
Okay, you stand up. You thinking about baby? No,
You got problems. You got problems. No, man.
Well, okay, I agree with this one. That was self-explanatory. Like if you daydreaming, then okay. This is a good one. And this does not necessarily mean sex. There's a lack of intimacy, but
right.
Make sure we make a point.
Yeah, that doesn't mean the relationship is over.
No.
That means something is going on that needs to be corrected. It doesn't mean the relationship is over. Because there's a reason there's a lack of intimacy. Yeah. Maybe someone's holding on to a grudge. Something happened. They hadn't let it go. They feels like you don't care anymore. You don't know that they're waiting on an apology. There's a lack of communication. There could be a lot of things that could lead to a lack of. They could have lost a loved one that's got them checked out mentally. They could be going through something on the job. Like there's a whole lot of variables that could factor into that. So it's not an automatic relationship is over.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Neither is daydreaming about being single.
Let me throw this in there though. I thought this was like a one-off, but I know some women who get married and they did not consummate their relationship until months, maybe a year later.
After marriage. After Pastor told me about that. I had never heard that before in my life.
That's grounds for divorce.
How are you getting married and you're not Pastor, you were the one that told me about that. I've never heard that.
I know a lot of couples. I don't know how no men do it, but to each his own. Wouldn't be me.
Well, no. Remember, you just said there's always a reason. So you have to figure out the reason.
No. You just said they was having sex and they got married and sex stopped. No.
I didn't say it stopped. I said they got married and then there was nothing.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. But no, the first thing first place we going to the doctor, and you better hope he show me your just cause.
Yeah, something.
Or if not,
trust what she tells you. Why you have to be in there with her? Maybe it's something.
There are couples that
she already told me. She already told me. I heard what she had to say. That's why I went to the doctor. So I don't need to hear from her no more.
No,
I need to hear from somebody else.
Well, maybe
that has knowledge we have, not knowledge that we don't have.
I'm just saying the doctor can tell her and she'll tell
you. I think that we can all agree that especially if you're married and your spouse does not want to be intimate with you, and you've been married a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, something is wrong.
A year?
Listen,
I'm with the fellas on this one. Look, I get the honeymoon night, but the day after,
we know couples that been married probably 15 years and probably have had sex maybe 6-7 times in their marriage.
It's crazy. I don't get it.
I don't know what that is.
I don't get it.
Is it the woman or the man? I don't
understand. Look, after that long, it's both of them.
It's both of them, yeah.
Because whoever tolerating that just is guilty.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And just
Unless there's a medical reason, I don't get it.
Yeah. And it's funny because, and understand this, particularly when it comes down to pornography, that can cause a lack of intimacy.
Now that's another thing, Rick. Is the one
In
of
the
them
marriage.
porn?
Yeah.
See, that's another thing. Now I have heard that where they're not having sex, but one of them is addicted to porn.
And we don't know.
And this is the key thing.
Hear that.
We don't know.
I did hear that.
Well,
Lord,
statistically,
can y'all find out? So when I bring my husband to
statistically,
therapy,
you
you be able to sniff that out. I'm just asking.
Sniff what out?
If a person has a
Hold on
porn
to the
addiction
light.
or something like that, to where maybe
You ain't gotta sniff it out. If he got a porn addiction, you gonna see it.
Oh, okay.
right.
If he in the
don't see it.
bathroom longer than you,
If the browser's always cleared out,
if you finding lubricants all over the house, you got lotion, baby oil, and all these, and he stay ashy.
you finding wet spots all around the house.
You know what? Just put that thing so
All his underwear thick.
and see where the DNA is in your house.
Pretty much. You need a
They get that machine. They
black
put
light.
it
Yeah,
out,
you need to
and
scan your
everything
house
light up. Everything light up in here.
and like what's going on in the living room? What's happening over here?
Oh my gosh, my stomach hurt.
What is
Wait.
this?
How is somebody supposed to do that before they
Baby,
get married?
Real talk. Listen. Statistically, the more body counts that you have before your marriage, the more bodies you have, men and women, the less intimacy you can have in your marriage. Because there's a such thing as being in love and loving someone in the marriage.
We talked about. Okay, can we talk about that right now?
Yes, that's good. Come on.
Let's talk. That's a great segue. So please explain the difference between
There's agape love.
I want to hear this from the masters.
Oh gosh, we're masters now?
Yeah, because I want to hear the
Look,
difference.
he's taking a drink of water. I guess he's
I know,
about
right?
to lay it
Did
on.
he adjust himself, Janine? Did he
Go ahead.
adjust himself?
Sorry, go ahead.
Everybody.
No, I'm gonna
and wiping his forehead. Okay.
I'm listening with my good ear. I'm listening with my good ear.
You want to go, Jose? Or you want me to go?
Oh, you introduced the subject. I was gonna let you.
Oh no, okay. Here we go. When particularly a woman, when she doesn't respect her husband or even honor him, she can be in love, she can love him, but not be in love with him. And what happens with a lot of men in the sense of intimacy, they're not in love with their wives, but they love them. Hence why they have the side chicks. Hence why they step out. They're not in love with their wives, but they love them. And so that's just one aspect of it.
So for clarification, you're saying that, not to say it's 100% foolproof, but if a man is in love with his wife, the chances are very slim that he will step out on her.
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
When he's in love with her. When he's in love with her. Because that mutual respect. Because keep in mind, although men want love, they want respect and honor more. Did that make sense?
Yes, I understand that.
That's how we interpret love. That's how we interpret love. When you respect him, you honor him and so forth. And let me clarify honor.
Yeah, please.
When it comes down to honor, that does not mean that you're a doormat, woman of God. That does not mean that. Okay. That means that pretty much you respect his opinion. You hear him out. You don't shut him down. But you hear him out. Although a lot of stuff that you may say may be right. And let me share this with you. I'm the first one to admit there are things that I knew I was I'm wrong about this one. And I listened to her. But listen, she honored me enough to let me go through the situation to come back and say, you know what, you were right. That's how you honor your husband, because he's a visionary. I know, so Rick, I ain't believe you. Listen, go be by yourself. But I'm telling you how this works. And when it comes down to being in love with your husband or your wife, it's honoring pretty much each other's needs. So she needs you, sir, to go get a job. That's job. J to the OB. Yeah.
And keep it.
And keep that. Yeah.
And keep it.
Yeah. So in retrospect, that's pretty much how it works when it comes down to being in love, because you can fall out of love with the person, not being in love with them because of something they said, something tragic happened in a relationship. And it'll be so many variables there. But the key thing is coming back together, as Pastor Jose mentioned earlier, discussing it, coming back and finding that intimacy to being in love with one another, honoring and respecting one another. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I agree with everything that Rick said. Only I want to take a little bit more below the surface as to why and how and what is happening. I'll start with a statement, then explain what I mean. The reason what he's saying about the problems that occur when the man is no longer in love, the reason that occurs is because most of us haven't learned how to love.
Yeah.
See, what happens when it comes to being in love makes it easy because in love doesn't require any intention.
Right.
Yeah.
See, you didn't do it on purpose. You fell in love.
Yes, sir.
What in love literally is, just to make it very plain and clear, in love is a euphoric feeling that happens when you get connected with someone. It starts with a crush and y'all relationship is new and all of this. And what happens, you've heard people talk about being love drunk and all of this stuff. This literally happens. It produces dopamine in your body.
That's it.
And it creates a chemical reaction.
Yes, Lord.
And with this chemical imbalance, you begin to operate in ways you would not normally operate in your sober state. You're literally high.
Yep.
You're high for real. Like
Yes,
you're high. And when you're high, you feel that person. In that moment, you don't see nobody else.
Nope.
When you're in that euphoric feeling, you can't even see. They can't do no wrong. When you're in that euphoric high state, they're all you want to be around. You do stuff that is so far out of character to who you actually are. But the problem with that, as with any high, you eventually come down.
Yeah.
And when you cannot
when I come down, I crash. Do I know how to love you without being high?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Because you can't live high. You got to come to the point, and this is where people ignorance pops up. You know what? I don't know what's happening. She ain't doing it for me no more. You know, she getting on my nerves. Now I start nitpicking. See, you ain't high no more. You sober.
You know what it's like? It's like the morning after when you spent the night before partying, drinking, having a good time. Everybody look good at the club. Then you roll over the next day and you're like,
that part.
Who that?
That part.
Who this woman? Harpo? Who this? What happened?
Who this Harpo? Harpo, who this woman? No, that's exactly right. So now watch what happens. Because I never learned how to love, I'm looking for my next quick fix.
Yes.
Here's why that other booty looks so good over there. Here's why, I like the way she smells. Here's why, because I want that euphoric feeling back. But see, when you really study and learn, and this is what our couples need to do, you can get high anytime you get ready. Because why? All you've got to do, but you got to be intentional about it. Block out everything else. Let your mind fully focus on a time they really made you feel good. Yeah. Something they did that was extremely special to you. Okay. That time that you were really happy. Maybe it was an event. Maybe it was a moment. Maybe it's something about them. Just focus all of your energy with great extreme on that moment and get lost in it. Because as you allow yourself to get lost, you begin to trigger emotionally those euphoric feelings.
Yes.
And if you get in that state and you begin to love that person, that's how you get high again. That's how you keep falling in love over and over and over again. There's a scientific term, I don't remember the term, but here's what it means. When you become so engulfed on something specifically to where it has so much of your focus, it sends this thing to your brain that automatically makes it pick up on other things that are similar or synonymous with that. Like, here's an example. You ever bought a new car? As soon as you got that new car, every corner you turn on, somebody else got that doggone car. It's like ain't nobody was thinking about that car till you bought it. That's not what, they ain't nobody just went and got the car. It's how your mind has become so consumed with it, so your brain picks it up. And this is what happens in relationship. When I get so mad at you and I get so upset with you and something bothers me and I'm so focused and zoomed in on that thing that makes me sick, I lock my brain and I program it to pick up on everything that resembles ourselves. See, there she go again. See, you don't never. See, you always. See, that's what I'm talking about. And you're not knowing it. It's because of the program you running. So, yes, you want to be in love, but it's not practical to think you're going to live in that state. I've got to love you. My love goes beyond how I'm feeling. My love becomes my commitment. And this is where I think you mentioned the agape. For while we were yet sinners, Christ died. Jesus didn't feel like dying for your behind, but his feeling didn't determine his giving. Because in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said, you know what, Lord, this is a hard cup. You ain't got no plastic cups. I ain't really trying to drink it today. Like, if it's any other way, let this cup pass.
No, that's right.
Nevertheless, not my will.
Yeah, but your will.
But thy will be done. Not how I feel, but what I committed to. And that's what people don't know, how to love on purpose with intention and how to tap into the feeling that you want to find.
Can that be taught? That's something that can be taught, obviously.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't stop people from getting divorced by taking them there. They didn't even know I was hypnotizing them.
No, really, because it's really taking them into that moment. It's okay. Each year you celebrate your anniversary or whatever. Right. Most of the time you go back to the place where you first met, or you remember when. I'll take her back to the place when I saw her outside the church and the sun hit her eyes, and I would just, I would just like, oh my God, I didn't notice you until just now, that moment. And so I take myself back. The day she brought me Hosea, the day she came over with the spaghetti string sundress on.
Boy, you better come on here.
Her hair was whipped up the way I like it, with the little me. Don't play with me. Listen, she comes over with some good cooking, Southern cooking.
Come on, boy.
Smothered pork chops.
Yeah, all right.
Green beans. And she just came over and laid it on thick. And I looked, I said, brother.
No kiddo Taco Bell.
If it be, I kid you not. That day, I said, Lord, if she's the one, Shadaba, let me know. But yeah, it was just because men were just attracted to the. I know when people say, "Oh, what is it? The beauty is an eye of the beholder," or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Listen, there was no other person I can think of. I was like, this here was the one. It just shut everybody out. Although people were coming after you and coming after her, she had a line, sir. She had a line. Yeah, but I knew, yes, sir. I knew I was going to get mine. Yes, sir. Why am I going there? But anyway, what happened?
You just celebrated another anniversary.
Sure. But I went after her in a sense of knowing pretty much the involvement that I wanted to be in her life, how to go about it. So we stay in those moments, Hosea, where we pretty much go back to the place where we first met. What happened over pretty much when we got married, how we felt. Because there are times we don't feel like we want to be married. There are times when I sure enough don't want to be a husband, and she sure enough don't want to be a wife, a nurse, a babysitter. Yeah, she doesn't want to be all that. There are times she doesn't, but because we work at it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean when I say most people ain't learned how to love.
Yeah.
See, they've learned how to love through a temporary moment of feeling that may not be blissful. That's what's the difference between the marriages that stand the test of time and those that don't make it.
Do you guys talk about this in premarital counseling?
Don't know how to be loved.
Oh yeah, can you tell those two? That's a good one, Janine.
Right?
Can you tell
They do not know how to position themselves to accept love, and they start self-sabotaging, and it's all kinds of crazy stuff because they just don't know.
Yeah.
See, to be honest with you, a lot of folk that's trying to get in premarital counseling need personal therapy first.
Yeah, they do.
A successful marriage is the product of two people who were successfully single.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
Right. Do you tell them that? I'll tell them that.
Yeah, and I split them up and deal with them one-on-one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. When you split, when you take them apart, particularly for the men, you have to really, really dig in, because a lot of it, the weight of being a man, a husband, and a father, it's a huge weight. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the wife, but the point I'm making.
No, but if he's gonna be the leader, you're exactly right.
Yeah, and so it scares them. It scares them.
Oh.
We've got people. Oh yeah, it scares them because they never had to step up. Or this is the key thing, Hosea.
Don't scare a good man.
Yeah, it's like they never had another man tell them this is what you need to do. They never had anybody, no man, Father, let me help you here. Listen.
And no one modeled it in front of them.
No one modeled it in front of them. And this is the key thing, and I say this to all the men. Please find a man of God to speak life over you. Listen.
Yeah.
Life over you.
Yeah.
There's something about a man of God speaking life over another man or a son in the faith is vitally important.
Hey,
because,
Rick,
yes, sir.
Let me say this to you. I won't call his name because we know him. Friend of ours, great brother, great powerful minister of the gospel. He shares it publicly, but I won't shout his name. That's not important. He says one of the hardest things for him when he got married, and this brother who saved himself, he was a virgin, man of God. I mean, real upfront, a solid brother.
Yeah.
He said the most challenging thing for him as a husband, he did not know how to cover his wife.
Yeah.
He never saw a man cover a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Never had a father to cover his mother. When it came to that, it was just foreign to him.
Yeah.
That's where he felt so unprepared. Out of whack. How do I his mama was a make it happen woman. Yeah. She held the fort down. She took care of him and all his siblings. Yeah. She did, so he never saw her be covered. Yeah. And now his wife was begging him to cover her, to be that, wanting him to be that head.
Yeah.
He had no inkling of how to be. I mean, he's good now. But he shares that was his biggest challenge.
If I may say, and just be transparent here, when Colette and I went through the moments as far as when we were trying to have children and so forth, she went through a major, a tough time. I couldn't understand it. And during that time, I didn't know how to cover her.
Yeah.
Because it was, I'm the fix-it dude.
Yeah.
That's what we do. What are you talking about? I put my, Dr. Cosby belt on. I go fix pretty much the doorbell. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And so what happens in that moment, I didn't know how to fix that.
Yeah.
So my experience didn't match the level of trouble. And so I retreated back. I didn't know what to do about it. There are people who didn't know how to deal with the situation, men, because they never been in my situation.
Right.
So I had to ask the Lord patiently, how do I do this? Because that D word came up at 10 years. And now that D word it'll shake you. Because here you are trying to be the best that you can, you know how, and things are going well. But this thing here, the elephant in the room, couldn't eat it. I couldn't move it. I didn't have the tools to coerce it out. None of it.
So how do you cover in a situation that's just your particular example, Rick? But looking back, how would you? What were you supposed to do that you didn't think you were doing?
Because I didn't know how to handle my pain. She was going through. So what I would have done at that time is been there physically.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. When you don't understand the cover, you don't know what's needed.
Well, there you go. So
you don't really know what's needed. Like, do you need the space? Do you need this? And I think the one benefit that I had, thank God, my father, Big Mama, I understood the need of being present.
Yep.
Just growing up, taking care of Big Mama, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. My dad always being there, even when he didn't know what to say. The need of being present.
Yeah.
To give that support, that testosterone, that to make sure you are never alone.
Yeah.
That I got you. I may not have all the answers, but I got you.
Right.
You may be going through it.
Yeah.
But I'm going through it with you. Even if I'm not feeling the pain, I'm here for the ride.
Right.
It's that offering that level of support.
Right. Yeah, and that's vitally, I think, important. In my opinion, that, and just for couples in general, I think it's vitally important that you understand that you must have other couples around you. You cannot be a couple by yourself. You cannot. You're going
healthy couples, right? Would you say healthy?
Well, let's speak on that. Yeah, let's say that. Yeah, healthy couple, because. Oh yeah, no, yo.
I didn't even realize. This is honest God truth. I'm ashamed to say it, but it's true. I did not know. I didn't know that I didn't have no single friends till I lost my wife.
Wow.
I wasn't aware. When I started looking for somebody to hang with,
everybody married.
I mean, somebody that, I got single people in my phone, but I'm talking about somebody that I'm not just pastor to. Somebody that I would just call a friend.
Right.
I couldn't find nobody to call. And I got all my homies, but they all married. And I'm tired of feeling like the third wheel. I didn't realize it. But I understand what you're saying. It's one of the things that kept us healthy.
Yeah.
We had a community.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Let's segue.
5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes.
Come on, right here.
All right, guys. So you've stopped helping each other.
Yeah.
Get out! No. This is most marriages. What I found, if you ask me, what do you see as the biggest problems in the people you've counseled that lead to problems in the marriage or divorce or separation? If I had to name one thing that summarizes all of the problems, lack of oneness.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really what I would give the nucleus that I can summarize it.
Yeah.
Most of them are two individuals in one life.
I can believe that. Yeah.
You know what it feels like? It feels like a single mother living with a bachelor.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
That's good.
That's a good analogy. That's what really a great analogy.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. When you talk about, because a lot of things, I think, Pastor, one of the things you brought up, I remember with dealing with the woman who wanted the prenuptial agreement, I think, and you were like, you didn't agree with that. I forget what your maybe you can even summarize that, because sometimes people come in when they're older and they have, here's the situation. So when you're a certain age, you have property and stuff. Okay. And you don't want to, that's your property. You want your kids to get it. And okay. So go ahead and we can end with that.
No, it's just a thing of people set things up from an individual perspective. And what happens is this didn't put it all in a nutshell. People want to be married. They want to be married so bad, but this is why we talk about it's important for you to also be in love with the institution of marriage. Because a lot of people love people, but they don't love marriage.
Right.
And when you love the person but don't love marriage, you still setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
because the institution of marriage comes with that level of trust and accountability. And here's where the problem comes. And anybody that don't meet those qualifications, you should not marry. But people say, I want to marry you, but I don't want to do this that really comes with marriage. So let me set this up to safeguard myself when you start disrespecting the institution, which is setting you up for failure. And I get it from the logical standpoint, but marriage ain't logical. It's spiritual. Ain't nothing logical about two individuals becoming one. You left logic when you do that.
That part.
Marriage is the death to independent living.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't want to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And that's when you don't love the institution of marriage. I just so happen to love that institution. I rock with it.
Yeah, you got to first love that part first.
Yeah.
Love marriage.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the whole falling in love, that's going to come. You being or loving someone, that's going to come. But the institution of marriage, you got to love it. That's the first thing you must love is marriage. It has to be exempt before you. It has to be before you, of course. But yeah, it's that when we get into counseling sessions, it's about the marriage.
Yep. I just want to throw in one more quick tiny thing.
Janine will wrap us up. Go ahead.
Okay. Back to Pastor Hosea was talking about falling in love and all that. And it's interesting. We say fall in love, but any other time you use the word fall is never a good thing. Falling is never a good thing, right? We grow in love. I meet you, we grow in love. When you fall, you're crazy. You just forget about it. So we're not falling in love, because then you can fall out of love. We're growing.
I like that.
That's one thing. And then the second thing
I'm gonna add that to my repertoire.
There you go. The way God designed marriage is just, I mean, he's brilliant, right?
He's God. Mm-hmm.
Not one time today did we mention soul ties.
No.
Right.
The reason there's such a thing as a soul tie is like relationship insurance. Because when I can't stand you, when you didn't get on my last nerves, right? When I'm not in love with you, there's no butterflies. It's that soul tie, right? That keeps us connected.
Yeah, that's a godly soul.
In the blanks.
Yeah,
right?
godly soul.
And
because soul ties has become a bad word.
And that's how we should kick off season 4, y'all. We definitely got to just do a whole, that may be a couple of
soul ties coming soon to a YouTube channel near you.
Yes.
On butterflies. Okay, guys, we've done it at show. We need to throw up some balloons and
have a great
I gotta go beat.
I love y'all with the Heat of 1,000 Suns. Thank you to everybody who's rocked with us this season, other seasons. Please take advantage of this time off to reach out to us. Let us know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear about. If you want to come on and be a guest and share your personal journey, your story, this is the time.
Yes,
this show is to help you, to bless you, to connect you, to help you break through and get over some stuff and be free. So if you want love, then love can find you.
Love will come together.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
I'm out.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.